But like, so is Kanan really Howard's son? And if this is the case, do you think there will be a situation where Kanan will end up either wanting to be or being, Howard's donor, for his surgery that he needs? So I just wanted to get, more of your perspective on that topic in particular. We've kind of already talked about it, but do you have anything else to add to it? So Dana, you're making faces at me, so what's up?
Why would you randomly? The dude has kind of basically been a thorn in your side and bothering your mother, like from Kanan's perspective, bothering his mother, bothering him. He does not like cops. His mother raised him to kind of not like cops. Symphony doesn't like cops. And then all of a sudden, one, you have to tell that your dad, who I'm going to assume he never met because he went into jail. I want to know how that timeline works. But the dad that he never met is not his father, but the guy who's always been kind of harassing him and hanging around the house is his real dad. And then you go on with that, and then you have to, then understand that your mother lied to you, that your mom then went with a cop. I don't know if he was a cop then, or he later went and became a cop. But your mom now is part of a cop line or is a cop family. And no, I don't see Kanan being the kind of guy in general who's like, hey, buddy, I got you, no matter what. He doesn't seem to welcome people in lovingly into his arms. Be like, hey, you need that bone marrow? And also that process is very painful. So, no, I honestly think that Howard, just in general, will just go off and die. Because, and I'm just sorry, but, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you force your kid to do something, a painful situation, to do something that he probably doesn't want to do? Yeah. And then on top of that, Kanan would be extremely mad at his mom, so he's definitely not going to listen to her to go do the bone marrow. No.
What do you think, Rich?
Well, just to respond to the Howard situation, we'll see what happens with Howard. I kind of feel like he will go out in a blaze of glory, where it's going to be. I don't think he's just going to die from the cancer. It's probably going to be with this whole thing going on with Unique and Raquel. Maybe he'll get caught in the crossfire and he'll end up getting shot or something to that degree. But to answer your question, Gary, about Kanan and Howard's relationship, I do not see Kanan ever finding that out. If he finds out that information, it's going to be too little too late, because you see Kanan's already going down the negative path. And I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to be too far gone, whereas he won't even entertain, if he ever hears that information, he won't even entertain it at that point. If I had to make a prediction, I think that before this season is over, Kanan is going to take another step in doing something very reckless and dangerous and violent. You saw him kill, kill Buck, Buck 20. That's his name. See, I forgot his name. I guess I'm not as good as the newspapers that talk about him either. But yeah, 20. He had a hand in killing this guy, and then you see he gets into a fight with Scrappy in this episode. Not successful, by the way. So I kind of feel like, by the end of this season, the character is probably going to take another step in a negative direction. Yes, he learned how to cook in this episode, but again, he's not yet the tough, hardened individual he is that we know from regular Power. So some stuff is going to happen to make him get to that level. Maybe a character gets killed that is very important to him, close to him, and that leads to this as well. But in terms of the stuff with Howard, it's hard to tell, because they still could play that card where eventually he does find out about Howard and they have some type of conversation. But I kind of feel like, because he's going down a negative path, I don't want to say this, I don't want to be cliche, but I kind of feel like it could be a situation where Kanan gets in over his head. Maybe he kills some people, and then Howard is the one that comes in. It just happens to come and save him, and then gets killed. And then as he is dying, Kanan, I am your father. I really hope that don't happen, though, because that would be too cliche. I don't want to see it happen like that. But go ahead. Dana's going to say something.
Go ahead, Dana. You go first.
I really want a situation where Kanan kills Howard, and his last words is, "I'm your father," and then he just shoot. Here's the thing, Kanan, as we've seen, even with the end of this episode when he's cooking the crack or out of coke, I don't know, crack, is it cocaine or crack? I don't know.
Crack.
What?
Crack.
It's crack? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm learning. So as he's
The cocaine turns into crack when you cook it.
Yeah.
you see, you're teaching me things.
Snowfall.
Snowfall? Okay. It's the cooking lesson right now. So what I was saying was, when you saw that episode, remember when he's with the razor blade and he's cutting it all up?
Mm-hmm.
There was a smile on his face. There was that life, and then he gave that whole monologue about, oh, the life that we choose. He was like, no, I chose this on purpose.
Yep.
Everything that he does, he knows what he wants to do. He's calculated. It's not a if or a wishy-washy thing. And that's what I also think that Raquel doesn't like. But in regards to that, I think that he's willing to do whatever he has to do to protect his family and to protect the business and to protect himself. And I feel that in order to do that, he has to take out Howard. I don't know the circumstances of what'll end up happening later in the episodes, but I do not see this boy willing to change or stop or bend in any way to Howard at all, and that he will easily kill him. He is not someone who is going to shy away from killing. If you look at one, he killed the guy whose name I can't remember. He killed him. He was next to the guy who got his head blown off when Uncle Marvin killed him. He didn't really blink. He was just like, oh. And then he threw up because, like, at first, it's what you do. But it wasn't like, oh, my God, you killed him. Oh, my God, what's going to happen? He didn't freak out, right? Yeah. Remember his mama taught him how to shoot, and he got really happy with that. Yep. Okay? And then remember when we saw the blood on his shoe? And he went and he did the thing to clean off the blood on his shoe? And he looked at the blood and was like, huh. And then he went on with his day. Mm-hmm. It's not something that he really sits and thinks about and it's on his conscience and he feels guilty about. So with Howard, he has to kill Howard. And I look forward to that scene.
And Rich is probably going to say what I'm going to say. But yeah, go
ahead. I want to see if you say what I was thinking of.
No, you go first.
I was going to say, if he does kill Howard, that is a perfect bookend to when he killed Sean, who was his son, supposedly.
And was he his son? This is a family of lives.
Yeah, see? Yeah. No telling. But that would be perfect. That show you how dark the character is. Killed his father and then he killed his own son. So
yeah. See, I like that. I like how you guys put that. And that shows, we're all writers here because, we think of these things, these connections and these plot threads and stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that how you guys describe that would be amazing if that's how it ends, where, he shoots him, he shoots his father, and it plays into the whole him shooting Sean as well, his son. Like that would
Laverne.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and that would be amazing if that's how it turns out. So I also had like a different thought of what I think could happen also, and it could still end up the same way, but like what I think is going to happen. This is similar to what Rich said also. Actually, I do think that there's going to be a moment where Kanan gets in over his head. He gets into some serious stuff with Unique and his crew. And then Howard shows up and kind of defuses the situation and rescues Kanan. And, they're in the car together. And I guess, Howard is having a heart-to-heart with Kanan. And then he kind of reveals that, he is his father and everything. And he starts to talk about what happened between him and his mother. And, Kanan is like just shocked and touched in that moment. And then Howard starts becoming visibly sick, as he's, saying this. And then, Kanan's like, what's going on? What's wrong? And, he said, I've got leukemia. They say, I got X amount of days, or weeks to live unless I find a match or whatever. And then, that plants it in Kanan's mind that he could be, a donor. And then he might be wrestling with that thought for a while. I do think like if Raquel finds out about this, she's going to be 100% against it. She's not going to want him to be a donor at all, and she's going to actively keep, the whole thing about him being the father away from Kanan. So that might make Kanan mad at Raquel for a while. And she's definitely going to be 100% against those two kind of having any type of relationship or whatever, right? And then later on, it comes down to a moment where some serious stuff has happened with the gang situation, the two crews, and it comes down to Howard having to make a move and kind of put a case or something on Raquel, and then maybe Kanan, he has to choose if he, is he going to protect his mother, protect his family and the business, or is he going to allow Howard to keep doing what he's doing, even though it's his father, and then maybe that could lead into him making that decision to kill Howard, because he's putting him out of his misery, because he's sick. So that might be how he sees it. That's not how, obviously, that's harsh to think that, but that might be at that point in time. That might be how he views it. Like, that might be how he chooses to resolve the situation.
Well, I just want to say one thing real quick. Then I want to hear what Dana has to say. I think when you mentioned the part about him telling Kanan, "Oh yeah, I am your father," and then he tells him, "Oh yeah, well I'm sick. I need a donor." I think that's the kind of thing that will make Kanan think this guy is lying to try and get this trying to get me to do what he needs also. Because I think that is certainly something. If you say that so quickly after you say, "Oh yeah, I am your father," but I need this from you. That's kind of a bad thing. So
that does sound crazy.
Yeah. Well, no, go ahead, Dana.
I have no idea where in the Nicholas Sparks you came up with that whole thing.
That's just the alternate. No. That's just the alternate.
No. Path. No, I view it as we're in a stash house, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of similar to where we was at when everyone got shot up. So we're in the stash house. And
right now?
No, this is the end of Omar's life.
All right.
Something happened where we're in the stash house, and it's Omar and it's Kanan, right? And they boom, shoot out. Stop. And he's trying to explain, I'm your father. Don't do this. And he's like, I don't care who you are. Boom. And he kills him. And in the end, I don't see this gushy, mushy, I'm your dad, I'm daddy situation. And
I do, because we're dealing with TV and there has to be some kind of drama and
we're dealing with Kanan
and tension.
Kanan is not mushy and gushy. You with whole notebook. No. Mm-hmm. I can't. I literally say
I 100% think that before Howard dies, he's gonna know that he's his father. Before that moment, I think.
Yeah. I think that he's gonna, and Kanan's gonna be like, I don't care who you are, boom, and then you're dead.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna find out right there though. I think there has to be a longer period of suspension. I think.
There's one other element that you have to add into this as well, and that is that Raquel and her role in all of this, because that she will do whatever she can to protect Kanan. She will tell him stuff or withhold information from him so that he doesn't know the truth. And I think that is the confrontation that we're going to eventually get, is the mother and the son, because there's a lot of stuff that she has done that we've seen already that she has had a hand in so far this season. And when Kanan finds out about that, I will be very curious to see what his reaction is going to be then, because we already know he will do whatever he needs to do. Going back to what Dana said before about the first episode, and how she teaches him how to shoot, and then he has that smirk at the end. And I think Dana said it best. She realizes that she has created a monster. So this is going to come full circle, but that's just my opinion. But yes, she's going to play a role in this to try to make sure that Howard does not tell him the truth. Or if he does tell him, she's going to do whatever she can to say, no, he's lying, all this other stuff. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think because there has to be that tension between, all three of them. I think there needs to be a longer period of time of him knowing about it before, Howard dies, I think. But I do like, I think that's beautiful the way you guys put it, where Kanan is the one to kill him. Like that would be just beautiful, you know. Um,
Or you can go back and see this. Remember when Raquel in this episode found the blood on the shirt and
mhm.
was just waiting downstairs, and she was like, "Oh, I waited all these days for you to tell me, but you never said anything."
Yeah.
What if he pulls the same card
Yeah,
after he finds out that Howard is his dad, where he's like, "Oh, I just sat here and waited this whole time, and you never
Yeah.
told me."
That's a great. Yeah. See,
exactly.
writer. That's a writer right there. You got it. That's that. Yeah, because she said that twice. Because she even said it with Marvin. When Marvin, she waited for Marvin to tell her the truth as well. So yeah. See. That's perfect. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. So yeah, this was an excellent conversation. I definitely want
Mhm.
everyone to chime in, let us know what you think about that, how this is going to play out, because this is obviously a huge plot twist. This I'm pretty sure like Twitter is going to explode. When
Oh yeah.
this episode airs and everything. So definitely let us know your theories and what you think of this whole Howard situation. But yeah, unless you guys